I'm Janice Banther. In the last video that I made, I mentioned that if any of you had questions that you would like for me to answer, I'd be glad to. And so quite a few of you did send in questions, and I did pick out one, and so I chose Natasha Irwin. Natasha, you won. You had quite a few questions on your email, but I'm going to answer one of them, and it was, how do you teach nutrition during pregnancy that does not include visuals that cost a lot of money because I'm just starting out, and how do you do that? Well, there's a way of doing it that we have done because of teaching in jail. There's a lot of visuals we can't take in jail, so there we've had to, compromise different things. And also, this is just a fun thing to do, like if you're doing this for a prenatal interview with a couple, or if you're doing this with a childbirth class. If you're doing this with a childbirth class, this is a great way to get discussion going. You could have groups like 2 or 3 couples or 2 or 3 pregnant people with their partners, whatever it is, and we have cut out gazillion pictures of food from magazines and newspapers. And I've asked all my friends to do the same thing, so we have pictures of really healthy foods and pictures of not so healthy foods. So that was a real step to help us. Also, to make sure we had a diet we could give them, great place to go and get information, that's March of Dimes. And so Google March of Dimes diet pregnancy, and up will come up the information, and it says short version or long version. Click on the long version, and even has the whole menu out there of how many servings of protein they're supposed to have, how many servings of calcium, how much you're supposed to be drinking, and you can get that right off the website. It doesn't cost you a thing. I looked somewhere to see if you could copy it and paste it. It does not give you anywhere that I can see permission, but you could contact March of Dimes and see if they'd let you do that. So that way you'd have the diet plan out there of what they should be eating. You could say, okay, why don't you fix me a diet of what you would eat for breakfast, and just spread the pictures out. And, or else you could separate and say, this group do a breakfast that would be a very healthy breakfast for you to eat, and this group do a breakfast that would be very non-healthy for me to eat. Also, if you teach moms who are on Medicaid or WIC, make sure you have lots of pictures of the foods that they have for the WIC checks. And that really helps them out because that's the kind of foods that they're going to be having in their house more. So, more pictures of things like that. So you can have the 2 different kinds of that you're working with, either people who like to fix really big and fancy meals, not me, that'd be a fail. Or people who just fix, simple meals, which is me. Anything more than 3 ingredients, it blows my mind, can't do it. I'd rather be in a very long labor. So that's how I would answer that question. I have one more thing as a little extra thing. A lot of times when you're teaching a childbirth class, or if you're doing a prenatal for a labor doula, as a labor doula, you'll have someone who asks questions about the placenta, and they're really interested. Some people don't ever want to see it, and some people really, really do. And I got a great picture of a placenta at a birthing center birth I was at, so I hope it's not a glare, but I hope you can see this really clear. And it's a great picture. If you would like to have this picture for you to use for your own use, why don't you email me at janice@janicebanther.com. The information's right below here. And tell me you want this, and I will put this on an attachment and email it right back to you. It's in my computer, so it's no big deal. And that way you can use this too, and you can print it out, or else, put it on your computer and show it to them, or however you want to do it. But it's a great picture of a placenta, and shows everything really, really clear. And be glad for you to be able to use it in your trainings, or your childbirth classes, or in your prenatal interviews as a labor doula. Well, I hope this information helped you out. If you have any questions or concerns, and if you have more questions you wish I would answer, please feel free to still email me. Now, the 2 women I just mentioned, Natasha, you're going to be getting a gift certificate to the Kappa store. And you'll be going to be getting that after you email me. You'll have to email me your email address you want me to send this to, and we're going to be sending you a gift certificate from the Kappa store. And they just made a bunch of new visuals, so maybe that one about nutrition might be answered right there for you. Thanks very much for listening. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.